you mentioned you want to you want to make the case why PHP is better than Ruby and Java. I don't know if that was just a joke or if you actually have brought argumentation, but I thought, hey, we've explored the build step, I think, probably to its logical conclusion. This might be an interesting conversation. Do you like PHP better than Ruby and Java, Amy?
I do just because I know it. I like,
Okay.
so I did say it as a joke, but like knowing that it's gonna, get some people excited,
Yeah.
ruffle a few feathers. But
Right.
yeah, I mostly like PHP just because that's what I learned early on. Like I was building WordPress sites, and the fact that I didn't have to worry about a build stuff, I just upload a PHP file to a Linux server and it works. Like that's feels magical as a beginner. So that's kind of where that beginner argument comes from. But
Right.
I've recently been digging into Laravel and really been watching the Laravel versus full stack JavaScript debate online, which has been really interesting. And so, I think it does enter this conversation when you start talking about a build process and the fact that you can just put a file on a server and it runs.
Yeah. That is the magic of PHP. I
Mm-hmm.
used to even take my index.html and I remember just changing the file extension and then it would execute dynamic code, and it was just so cool. It was so
Mm-hmm.
easy.
Yep.
And
Or
I
you just
built
have
a
your
lot of stuff that
includes.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just do an
exactly. Just start
include.
writing some PHP code.
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned it on this show before, but my first attempt at a blog was a single PHP file, and whenever I added a new blog post, the PHP file just appended to itself with that post, and then that was how
Warning,
it worked.
warning. Do not try this at home. I always have to disclaim that whenever Nick brings it up. This was an ingeniously naive thing to do, Nick.
Yes.
Did you have a
What could
guest book
possibly go
and
wrong?
a counter on your site as well?
I did. It was of that
You
era.
did.
Oh, visit counters are cool. I definitely had one of those.
Oh, I was going to say, I feel like that is one of those examples where you learn by doing, and you do it, and then you learn to never do it again.
Yeah, did that ever bite you, Nick?
Oh, probably that doesn't exist anywhere anymore. So there's a reason.
The only thing worse you could do is actually like put a notice in your comment form. Like, by the way, when you write this comment, it's going to execute server side on my VPS, just let them know. They don't have to even do a JavaScript alert and see if it actually, triggers.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't password protected in any way either. So, I was doing everything right.
Was this a school project or
No, I was
doing
in
this for
school.
work?
I was
Yeah.
in school, but it was my personal blog at the time.
Right.
When I was in school, we only got 1 meg on the school server, which makes
Oh,
me
you'd fill
laugh.
that up pretty quick with a
Yeah.
comment form.
Or 1 image.
Oh, yeah, that's true. 1 meg image. Yeah. You have to use one of those small language models on that one. Don't bring it up, Jared. Don't bring it up. We're not going to talk about language models in this episode. I promise myself.